One of the nice things about Mendix is it supplies lots of tools that enable you to pull data from data feeds that are available on the internet. There's loads of sites that sort of expose data in a sort of data feed, so you can take it, you can import it into your app. We use the phrase we sort of consume the data feed, and one of the most popular ways of doing that is this thing that's called JSON. Now Mendix supplies lots of different ways of actually sort of consuming JSON XML feeds from lots of different websites, and there's a really good sort of demonstration of how to build a app that sort of grabs data from a feed from Wikipedia here. So we're going to do something very similar to that. One of the UK data feeds that's available is street level crimes, and this data feed is exposed as JavaScript object notation, and that style of a very sort of lightweight alternative sort of sharing data. And Mendix has got a way of sort of lots of wizards that enable you to sort of access that data, build data structures that can handle it, and then use it inside your apps. JSON sort of looks like this. It's sort of combinations of braces, square brackets, colons, and things like that. And what you generally find is you'll find sort of pairs of items where there'll be a sort of a name of a thing and the data associated with a thing, sort of very roughly. I'm not going to go into the details of JSON here, but it's basically, it looks like that. And you'll have combinations of braces, square brackets to sort of indicate a list of items, things like that. So the police data that's available, here's a sort of massive picture of a sort of JSON data structure that's available. And the way that the police data is shared, you'll have a URL, like an address for a website, and inside that you'll see that there'll be some values. In this particular JSON feed, we supply a latitude and a longitude and a date, and that's going to be like a year and a month. That's optional, that bit. If you don't supply that, then it just gives you the last month, basically. And when you run that feed, what you'll get back is you'll get something that looks like this. Now you can just type it literally into a browser and it will return a JSON feed back, and simply, I mean obviously if you do it in a browser it simply displays it, and you can see it here, but look up at the URL and you can see buried away inside here we've got the latitude, there's the longitude, and there's the date of the crime data that's being shared with us. You can see that's quite a long list of items here. I've dropped it into a formatter just so you can see basically what it looks like. So you can see that every crime that is noted, recorded, it basically has a sort of category and it's got a location. And in fact that's quite nice, because what it would enable us to do, for example, is to build a Mendix app that would display the last month's crimes, or the month that we're looking at for a particular area. We could actually display that data on a map. We've certainly used a map before. So you can see the kind of things we've got here. We've got pairs of values, we've got the name of the sort of data, and then the actual data value itself. What we're really interested in is it's sort of like, as it's sort of visualizing what the app will look like. We could imagine it being, we've got a sort of location, so we've got latitude and longitude, and we could use sort of markers to indicate that a crime has been recorded and what category of crime was actually at that particular point on the map. So that's the basic plan. We're going to build an app that will basically pull a month's worth of crime data for a particular location. We'll supply the location, the longitude and latitude, and then it will supply the data for that month for that location. Now there are limits on what this provides, because it actually basically says it sort of it provides limits on the amount of data that it supplies, so it doesn't overload the surface. It says that the data that's supplied will either be a 1 mile radius, or you can sort of supply a custom area. Now we're not going to supply a custom area for this. Basically we'll just supply the sort of longitude, latitude and the date, and we'll pull the data back and then we'll display it on a map. That's the basic plan for this app. So the next steps will be to sort of create a blank app, and then there'll be sort of two parts to constructing the app. Constructing the feed, sort of handling the feed inside our Mendix app, and we'll use various wizards and tools that Mendix supplies to do that, and then constructing the interface. So there'll be two parts, building the feed and then constructing the app.